Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Net 100. So I said I was gonna make my next video on the, update of my dandruff and smelly hair problem. So I lied. Well, I didn't technically lie. I'm still gonna make a video in regards to dandruff and smelly hair. I've been trying to kind of watch more YouTube videos, talk to my Sisterlock consultant, so that I can get a good feel about what I'm going to do this upcoming month with the whole dandruff issue. I have started writing some things down, some of the regimens that I've started doing and things that I've changed. So I will give an update on that so that others can have an idea of what they can do. So the reason why I'm making this video is because recently today I was going through my Instagram feed and there is a follower on here who just got Sisterlocks. So congrats to her. And she posted a picture of one of her locks that had like a little, I guess she called it a bud on the end. And I remember my first time kind of like finding a bud, but it's not really a bud, especially when you're so new, when the locks are so new. Sometimes what'll happen is on the end of the lock, you'll get like a knot on the end. And I'm gonna try and see if I can find one for you guys to see. And it's not necessarily a bud, because technically buds tend to happen when your shaft starts to lock. Like this shaft starts to get harder, and then the end will kind of like coil in and be harder. Sometimes with new lock, I think what happens is when your Sisterlock consultant is putting in the pattern, your end tends to get like a knot on the end. I'm going to try and find one of mine. And I'm sure you guys have had the same experience where on the end of your locks, they look like, let's see if I can show you this one. It's better if I show you next to a sheet of paper. See how on the end of this lock, it looks like there's like a knot or a bud. Hope you guys can see that. So technically, I don't think that's a bud. I think it's more of a knot. But eventually, once your hair starts to lock, the end will get harder, and that's what causes it to help close up. So at 2 weeks, I don't necessarily think that's a bud. Eventually, all her hair will bud up. All the ends will bud up. But at 2 weeks, sometimes I think it's just knotting. So she was like, well, if it's not a bud, I think it may be bunching. So that's not bunching either, because technically bunching usually happens at the shaft of the hair. And when I say shaft, I mean like this part of the hair. It doesn't necessarily happen on the end. Now, I'm going to show you what bunching is. I don't even know if you remember in the video before the last one, it had like my 4-month update. And I mentioned that, my Sisterlock consultant said my hair was bunching. Bunching is good and bad at the same time. Like too much bunching is bad. Just enough bunching is just right. So bunching technically, of course, is when your hair starts to coil up around your hair. And it's usually like the dead hair. Like the dead hair starts to coil around your hair because it really has nowhere to go. So that's why it bunches. But too much bunching is not good. I'm going to show you an example of bunching. I actually went through my hair and I took a safety pin. I took a hairpin and I put it next to 2 of my locks that are actually starting to bunch. Okay. If I put this sheet of paper on my hair, do you see this lock right here? See that thickness right there? That's bunching. Okay, and I'm hoping you guys can see what that is. Like if you tighten it up and you see how that right there is like bunched up right there. That's not supposed to happen. Like if you look at this lock and that lock, see how you have that thickness right there, and then that lock doesn't have that thickness. So that's not supposed to happen. So what my Sisterlock consultant recommended that I do is to take the lock, and when it's wet, you take it, you spray it with water, and you massage this part out. You just massage it out so that it elongates along the lock so it doesn't stay bunched up like that. It's just the dead hair just instead of it going all around the whole entire shaft of the lock, it stays in one place. So you don't want it to do that, because what'll happen is when your sister lock consultant goes to like retighten your hair, it'll hurt because that big bunched part won't go through. Because you know, as she goes through, it gets tighter and it gets closer to your scalp. If she can't pull that through, it's because your hair is bunching, and you definitely want to try to catch those in advance, which is what my sister lock consultant said you have to do. So she said what she recommends me do is go through my hair and just take water and just kind of massage this down, like massage it like how I'm doing like that, but only when it's wet, so that it separates itself throughout the lock. It's better to do it when your locks are like this as opposed to when they're actually like locked, because you have to actually pick the lock apart to take that part out. So she recommends just going through like this and massaging it down to the end of the lock so that it spreads itself out. Okay, I have another one that's a really good one. It's in the back. I don't want to make this video too long, but this one's even better. See how that thickness is right there? It's not supposed to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, I hope you guys can see it. So what I have to do is go through. You see how like this part of the lock is smaller, and then this big old bunchy part, and then this lock. So I want to definitely go through and take that out. So I hope that helped give you an idea of what bunching is, especially for new sister locks, because I saw another video of a girl who had fully locked hair, and she basically had to pick her lock out and then take the dead hair and, you know, get it out, and then she had to braid the ends, and I'm not sure we can do that. So if you have any questions, let me know. I hope that helped. And then I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks so that I can give you an update on the dandruff and smelly hair. I do have a fresh retightening. As you can see my scalp all the way through. Before, in my last video, you weren't able to see my scalp because I needed a fresh retightening. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, let me know and we'll talk again. Bye.